Families of Americans killed or injured in overseas terrorist attacks while serving their country want the same treatment as families of people victimized on American soil. It may sound like an easy call, but some are finding it's disappointingly complicated. Fox News' Terry Schultz reports.
Our victims were just like the victims of 9/11.
Edith Bartley's father and brother were among 12 Americans and hundreds of Africans killed when al-Qaeda bombed U.S. embassies in Kenya and Tanzania in 1998, precursors to the World Trade Center attack of 2001.
They were targeted for the same reasons, because they were representing the United States of America.
But whereas Congress rushed through legislation to provide millions of dollars in compensation for 9/11 victims of every nationality, the American families of the embassy bombing victims have yet to receive a cent 5 years on. They're asking to be allowed to join in the compensation fund for 9/11, noting that al-Qaeda members have already been convicted for the embassy attacks, but a bill to that effect died last year when Congress recessed for the summer without passing it. A new bill proposed by the administration this year rejects linkage to the 9/11 fund, instead granting a one-time payment of $262,000. It closes off all options of further claims. This then would apply to all future cases of international terrorism and to the embassy bombing families.
Everybody should get the same benefits. They should get it as quickly as possible, and that to preserve the president's prerogatives in making foreign policy, that the money should not come from blocked assets.
That's right. It's the U.S. taxpayer who's funding these accounts, not the frozen assets of al-Qaeda or foreign governments, even if judgments are won against them. The whole deal is unacceptable for Edith Bartley.
And it adds insult to injury for them to suddenly, after 5 years, come up with some proposal and go to Capitol Hill and say this is in the best interest of the families. It's not in the best interest of the families.
There's particular irony in the case of Howard Caviller, who lost his wife in Nairobi. Still a State Department employee working in consular affairs, Caviller says he's actually seen memos sent out urging embassies to help track down foreign families so they can receive 9/11 compensation, while he struggles to care for 2 daughters alone. In 1999, when the U.S. accidentally bombed the Chinese embassy in Belgrade, 3 Chinese civilians were killed. A U.S. government check for $28 million made its way to Beijing for their families. But on Thursday, while Nairobi mourned, the 5th anniversary of the embassy bombings passed largely unmarked at the State Department.
We were told that the flags would be at half-staff worldwide at a moment of silence. And it shows that we're really not on their minds at all.
In Washington, Terry Schultz, Fox News.